All right, so let's get right to it. Welcome to the channel Apothesis on YouTube. Today we are going to be locating and uncovering the lid for the septic system. This is what you would do if you need your septic pumped. You can have the experts do it. They're going to pump your septic. They'll charge you on average $300 to do what we're about to do. So here's how to save yourself $300. Enjoy. These are the tools we're going to use today. We have this here. The electrical tape is for marking purposes. That is going to be our probing tool to find and locate exactly where the septic starts and where the lid is. We have a variety of digging utensils. Flat shovel, pointed shovel, little tiny mini shovel, my favorite. Of course, we have a tape measure and we have some gloves. Use protection, people. It pays off. And always, don't forget to hydrate. Okay, folks, so what we've got here is this crawl space door. This is a one-level house, meaning it has a one floor and a crawl space under it. If you have a two-story house, you may have to do this a little differently, but usually what you want to do is find out where your exit for your plumbing drainage is. Now, I happen to know that ours is on this end of the house. All the living quarters and bathrooms are down here. So I know it goes out that way. Another way you can do is you can check and see where your well is. If you are on well water, your well will be on one side of your yard, the septic will be on the other. i.e., let me show you where ours is. Our well is right here. Okay, that is our wellhead. That's where our water comes from, which means down here is going to be on the other end of the house. This is going to be where our septic is. Now, let's take a look at how to locate exactly where it is. Get ready, get set, go. We're going in the crawl space. Let's get in here and take a look. Now, and you'll have to excuse the mess. Yes, I know. It's like everyone else's crawl space. It is terrible. All right, now what we're looking at. Okay, now first of all, this is for water filtration. This is our blue tank. This is called a pressure tank. This is for our pump. This is our well setup. This is what feeds power to the well pump, my mistake, which puts pressure into this tank, which pressurizes our home, and that is a pre-filter for the softener. Okay, those of you who are hawk-eyed will notice the softener's no longer hooked up. That's because it's a piece of crap and it don't work. What we're looking at here is the drainage system for all of our fixtures in the house, all of our plumbing fixtures. We've got a washer and dryer over here. That line you're seeing there, that's running over for the washer. Now, what you want to do is you want to look at the slope of all your drainage, right? See how it's up higher there and it's lower here, meaning it's uphill that way. Okay, water drains downhill, so we know this to be the exit. That drains to here. This drains to here. That comes down. That goes out. Okay, that is where the septic system is tied in to our home. Now, this will go out and it will go straight out of that end of the home. And it will go at least 8 feet. It depends on the code in your county/state, but ours is around 10 feet out. Now, you see it goes out at an angle. That angle does not continue. When they exit the home, normally, and I'm a 30-year plumber, normally what you will see is the moment it exits the home, it turns straight. It goes back straight toward where they're going to set the septic. They don't want to put it angled into the septic. Then it creates problems in the septic system. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at this and we're going to follow that line straight out. Not at the angle, straight out. And that's what we're going to see the next. Okay, folks, we're now back outside. This vent you see right here is on the end of the home where the septic line was coming out at an angle. It actually comes out. What I measured was inside is center block. Brick is always just a fascia covering. So we had a full center block, which would be about right in here roughly, and then part of another. So we're looking at basically right where that, there it is, sorry about that, basically right where that drop of paint is, which is not a marker, it's just where somebody dripped paint when they were doing something. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that spot, we're gonna come straight out from the home, and that puts us roughly, well, you see the spot that's been dug up. That's actually been dug up by the dogs, but they're pretty close to where it's gonna tie in. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get out our probe, and we're gonna probe this area. This is where the dogs dug. I'm betting they're pretty close to where the septic is because dogs like to dig at septics. But I think it's a little more over in here. But we're gonna probe it, and how we're gonna do this, I'll show you right now. All right, so we've got our probe here. Now, see the tape that I told you earlier was for marking on the probe. Reason being is because the septic tank is gonna be in there at this level. They grade it properly, so it's going to be level. And what you're going to see on top of the septic tank, if this were the top of the septic tank and it didn't have this bump, you will see a little lid, squared, that sits on top that covers the hole where they empty your septic. We're trying to locate that high spot, that lid. So what we're going to do is we're going to probe, and we're going to find the tank, and then we're going to mark it with a piece of tape how deep it is, right? Then we're going to probe around and find a spot shallower. That means it's not as deep there. That's going to be our lid. So let's get going with this. That capping, that's concrete and metal. So we're going to mark that, and we're going to find out whether I have found the lid right off, which is very doubtful, or whether I have just found the septic tank. Most likely I just found the septic tank. All I'm doing is marking the depth with my thumb. Marking the depth where I've marked my thumb, and just wrapping a piece of tape around it. Just tell me how deep it is. Okay, let's go back. Right here's where we just probed. Okay. Okay. Let's see if it's deeper here. Same depth. I don't know if you can see it on there, but that's the same depth. You can still see the tape. Let's move over a little bit. Most tank lids are about 18 by 18 inches. I just missed the tank. That's off the tank. Being able to put it down that far means you have passed the tank. Now, I know you can see all the tape exposed, but you'll notice this is a higher point here. Maybe I may not be able to see that on the video, but this is actually graded a little bit here. That looks to be the same height. That one looks higher. I'm gonna open that one up so that it's marked. I can clearly see it. I'm gonna go back over here and make one more hole just to make sure I'm past the tank, and I am well past the tank. All right. So we're taking the tape off. We're gonna mark it again at the new line where I think I found the lid, which was right here. Okay. We're gonna mark that height, see if we find anything deeper. I believe we will. And again, we're just grabbing a piece of tape, marking it with our thumb, wrap a piece of tape right here. That's the top of the dirt line. That's all we're doing. Just wrap it up. Over. Look at that. We're down. That may just be the other edge. If it is, then what we have is an edge from roughly here to there, over here. So that means the lid should be right in the center here. We're going to be a little bit past it. Let's come back this way some, a little bit further from the house, because we were only about 10 or 11 foot there. So, okay, I'm getting there, but that's deeper. Okay, so let's take a look beside it. Same depth. That's deeper. This may be the lid right here. Let's check it again. Get where the dogs have dug it. Try and get it down level. That's a little deeper than the lid should be. Okay. We have a line between here and here. The lid should be in the center, right around here, and somewhere about 1.5 feet back. So let's see if we find the front edge of it. We know it's right here. Okay, let's find the front edge of the tank. Still there. Okay. This should be past it. And it is. Okay, where's that front edge? There it is. Okay. Front edge is right there. Right here is the front edge. So the lid should begin about where that hole is. So let's go a little back from it and see if it's higher. Looking at our dimensions, tank starts here, goes over to here, goes over to here. We're going right in the center, about where the dogs dug. Maybe just a little bit over from it, about right there. Let's see how this works out. Be right back with you when we get done digging. And this would be the dogs that keep digging here. Bear puppy. Bear puppy. That's Bear and Sugar, everybody. Bear's the little one. All right, time to dig. Not for them, but for me. So that's the way, Bear puppy. Bear puppy. Okay, move back. Move you a little closer. See if we can get you a better view. Okay, so I've repositioned you so you can see actually in the hole a little better than just, from back behind me. All right. Let's see if we can find this lid. Now, so you know, these lids can be anywhere from 2 inches under the dirt to 24 inches. They can be very deep. This one, as you've seen by where I marked, the probe is not that deep. About 14, 16, 18 inches, somewhere in there. Oh, that's the top of it. So what we're doing right now is we're uncovering and exposing the top of this septic tank. And I think I will see either the lid or at least part of the lid right here. And then if I only see part of it, I know where to dig out to expose it. Now, quick note, your septic tank is made of concrete. The entire tank that runs back through here is a concrete tank, usually reinforced. The lids are made lighter weight in order to be able to facilitate removing them when your tank needs to be pumped out. Now what that means is the tank and the lid are made of 2 separate things. Tank is solid concrete reinforced. The lid is actually a foam core, like styrofoam, but a little denser, covered with concrete. They're heavy but very fragile. You have to be careful with them. If you were using a probe here and you started probing and you were hitting the tank lid here, you could literally toot, 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 and pop it right through the lid. So remember that. I'm gonna get this cleaned up, and then we'll be right back. All right, so we dug the hole. I thought my measurements were a little off. Now, I will remind you, I did not use any measuring tape or anything. I've got one available, didn't use it. Oh, yeah, thought that was my mistake. So before we get back to the hole, I want to go over a couple of things. We have two dogs. There's one, Bear and Sugar. One's little, one's big. They like to dig, and they love the dirt. Had I already uncovered the septic and removed the lid, which you don't want to do, then one of these dogs would have ended up jumping straight in. And it would have been him, because I watched him jump straight in the hole without looking. So don't remove the lid. Just dig it up and expose it. Now I'm going to show you where I thought I had made a mistake. Okay, let's take a look here. What we've got here is the hole. Okay, let me get it where where you can see it good. Oh, there you go. Okay, so what we've got here is the hole. What you're seeing here, all these little white spots, that's the actual concrete that has been exposed. That's why I had the flat shovel to clean the flat surface. Now, I did make a mistake here. That is the lid, but you can't really tell at this point, because if you'll notice, I dug this hole at that angle, okay? That's the wrong angle. I should have dug it straight with the house, which would be this angle. So I actually did find the lid. Let me get you back where you can see again. It's right here. There's the edge of the lid. See that straight edge right there? That's the edge of the lid. Under this is, as you can see, more concrete from the tank. That's the edge of the lid right there. Now what I've got to do is dig out the entire edge of it all the way back and expose that full lid, which means I have to dig this hole the way I should have done to begin with, square with the house. Square with the house. Rookie mistake, 30 years in. It happens. Okay, as you can see, I have completed the dig. Now, you don't need to dig it this large. The only thing I really needed to uncover was this for the people to get to it and pump out the septic. I dug it in more this area so that we can get down in here and take a look at it. All right, so what we've got here, this is a not a standard application. I've been doing this for 30 years. I've only seen a few of these. What this is a recessed area in the top of the tank that has this cap on it. Now, I've cleaned out around the cap and pulled it. I don't want to pull it and show you what's in there because you don't want to see it. Normally, in any of the newer tanks, what you will have is a square drop-in. Okay, square drop-in lid right here, or you will have a lid that's 2 inches higher that's actually a cap that sits on top of this. So just keep in mind, you could run across this if you've got an older system. Standard for today is, for today's standards, is a square lid. But that right there will save you $300 because they will charge a minimum of $300 to dig this out for you. Once they get done, all I've got to do is cover it back up. To literally do all of this, you're talking 35 minutes worth of work. So save yourself some money. And I did want to cover one more thing. As I said, we have animals. We have 2 dogs. And even if we didn't, I want to cover this up because it's going to be days before the people come and pump this septic out. So I've got a piece of plywood that I'm going to lay over top of it, and I'm going to put a little dirt on top of the plywood just to hold it down. That way if the dogs run through or if a person walks through at nighttime, they don't trip, fall, and hurt themselves. So keep that in mind.